In a complete departure from any storytelling we've seen before, RAW Emotions Unite Us gets us involved in the empowering stories of the Paralympians. Sophia spoke with the people from FORIA, Meta, and the International Paralympic Committee to tell us about how this amazing WebXR experience was created.
We have Natalia, Trent, and Jay here with us today, who are being nominated for Experience of the Year and Return on Experience Award for RAW Emotions. Welcome. So, team, you guys are creating some pretty impressive and heartwarming experiences, striving to change perspectives on disability through the use of the immersive web. Tell us a little bit about that overall project and how the theme of the emotions were chosen and how the athletes were chosen for the experience.
Yeah, so RAW Emotions is the story or experience about 5 athletes and their stories of emotion. And the first thing we did was sort of interview them and just talk to them about their story. And then from there we got to kind of get a deeper look into their lives and their story and what was important to them. And I guess the gravity within their kind of their life story around the emotions that they felt most strongly about. And then we conducted another interview where we recorded them, and then that was what was turned into the audio for the experience. And then the amazing team at FORIA brought that to life with the immersive WebXR experience.
At FORIA, we really live and breathe immersive technology. We see the power and promise of tools like extended reality and the immersive web, really giving us an opportunity to, open our minds and challenge some of our perceptions in ways that we don't think traditional media has the capacity to do. And so when we were presented really an opportunity to work with the International Paralympics Committee and really, reflect and respect some of the incredibly awe-inspiring stories that, have led and contributed to the Paralympic journey for so many athletes across the world.
One of the big goals of the project was to change attitudes about people with disabilities, and they face discrimination on a daily basis.
From the Paralympic side of things, how did the messages that we were trying to get across, how did those convey in the medium and the experiences that were created?
Well, for us, one of the big goals of the project was to change attitudes about people with disabilities. There are 15% of the world, 1 billion people have disabilities, and they face discrimination on a daily basis. And whether it's conscious or unconscious bias, this holds them back, and there's a barrier for them taking a full part in life. And so for us, trying to change those attitudes was a really big part of the project. And I think the way it succeeded is the way that we told the athletes' stories. It was really important that we didn't tell the stories with any kind of pity, and we didn't put them on a pedestal. We really wanted the athletes to be seen as people, and for people to also be able to identify with them. And that really came across, I think, with the storytelling. And the other thing is that we know that Paralympic sport can change attitudes about disability, but it's really important for people to be able to experience it. And if they experience it on this deeper level and connect with it, that is the thing that changes attitudes. And this is where this medium is really exciting, because it provides that opportunity for connection that you can only really get if you're there.
I guess at the end of the day, it comes down to the users that have really stepped inside the experience and, had a chance to walk a day in some of these athletes' footsteps.
From a storytelling perspective, WebXR has huge potential, and we also mentioned accessibility. That was incredibly important to us, and it was important that you could enjoy this experience whether you could see or not, whether you could hear or not, that the experience, you could still understand the stories regardless of your abilities. It's probably the most emotional storytelling that I've ever done in my 10 years of Paralympic storytelling. And Paralympic athletes have incredible stories to tell anyway. But in this medium, you feel like you're there with them. And the way that the colors and the images told the story, it was just kind of added to the emotions of it to really kind of take your heart along with it. And there's no other medium that can do that.
We can create something like this that, you know, people can experience all over the world, and we can kind of touch their lives and change perceptions.
And I want to thank all three of you for coming on the show with us today, and thank you for truly doing impressive work in the industry and changing perspectives on disability through your work in the immersive web. It's definitely inspiring to me, and I'm sure it's just as inspiring to people in the audience as well. Thank you again, and congratulations on your nominations this year.